Game number 3, OGS, TheStC against Startail Curious. Our red Zerg player is starting at the top right on Calm Before the Storm, a very big map. One of the new additions to the GSL. At the bottom left we have our blue Terran player, OGS, TheStC, and I'm really excited that we are going to see a third map. That's what I was hoping for. We are seeing another game, this one on Calm Before the Storm, with cross positions, a really huge map, so we can expect another macro game, another really long game between those two players. And the situation, I explained it before, is like that Curious was actually qualified to participate in the code as he participated in his group last week with a new system. He was demoted to Code A after losing most of his matches. He didn't advance to the next stage, so now he's playing in Code A, and he needs to be careful. He needs to win this series if he wants to stay in Code A. If not, he will have to play the Code A qualifier next season. So this is kind of important for both of these players. Curious definitely wants to get back into Code as he needs to prove himself right now against OGS, TheStC, our blue Terran. And yeah, we might see some really greedy build orders by those two players. We have 14 supply for OGS TheStC right now, and this is looking like a 14 CC. I expect that's exactly what we're going to see, because that's basically a common strategy on a map like that. Here we go, command center being built by the Terran player, and at the same time we have that 15 hatch for Curious, the Startail player, and he's squeezing out 2 additional drones. He's also getting another extractor. That just shows you that the players are really comfortable with going for greedy builds on a map like this. Usually you wouldn't do it, you wouldn't be so greedy when you're facing a Terran player if you are a Zerg, because there's always the danger that the Terran player is starting with 2 barracks, the 2 barracks opening, trying to build bunkers around your hatchery and then tank you out early on in the game. But yeah, as we already mentioned, Calm Before Storm being a really big map, that's something you can get away with, and therefore why not try to make good on it. So there's that command center. We have 1 refinery where we have gas in mind, and the first barracks. Both players are trying to scout, and there is that drone, and I like that depot that he started to build just a tiny little bit, so there is just no way that that drone is going to get into the main base. And this is a situation where a Zerg player is kind of uncomfortable with. One of the maps that most Zerg players hate, for example, especially because of this reason, is a map like Typhoon Peaks, where you don't have any spots behind the base of your opponent where you can sneak in an overlord. So it's really easy to defend against scouting if you're a Terran player, and you can be up to all kinds of shenanigans. There's no way the Zerg can scout it, and on a map like that it's really hard for the Zerg player as well, because if you want to sacrifice an overlord into the main base of your opponent, you first have to get there with the overlord, and as you can tell just by looking at the minimap, the distances between the two maps are just simply too huge. It will take ages until an overlord is in any position to scout what your opponent is up to. So right now Curious has no idea whatsoever. He has no clue what's going to happen. I mean, he can predict that there might be once again the also famous build with the reactor Hellions, but he doesn't know for sure. There could be all kinds of crap happening in the Terran base. There could be some double Stargate play with Banshees. There could be just a barracks with a lot of barracks with Marines, or there could be, as we're seeing here right now, basically a triple expand. Another expand, but not really a triple expand, it's more like a double expand. It will be triple base then. So OGS TheStC now going for another base, going for another command center, and Curious just trying to scout. His metabolic boost already kicked in, so he has speed. He's spreading his creep once again. Kind of a trademark for him that he really is focused on his creep spread. I love it, mentioned it before. And at the same time he's squeezing out a lot of drones, and as you can see he's already attacking to his lair, so he's going for an early mutalisk build, trying to stay on 2 bases for now and making good on his tech. We have him on 32, 34 drones, droning up now quite a lot and timing everything so that he can build that spire as soon as his tech finished. And here are the 2 Hellions in the middle of the map. At the Xanaga Watchtower, so obviously the Zerg player already knows what's going to happen. He had one of these units over there that got being toasted by the Hellions. And let's have another look into the main base of the Terran player. So we have a Baneling Nest coming up. We have Tech Lab researching Stim, one bunker just in case. At the same time, double engineering bay. That's something that STC did the whole time. It's one of those trademark things that he really embodied. He really wants to get all those upgrades fairly soon in the early stages of the game. He did that on the first map, and in my opinion it was one of the crucial factors that won him the game. But he also did it on the last map. He wanted to get those early upgrades in order to deal with the threat of with the Terran player, with the Zerg player, and he did a good job at that. That Spire, just trying to build the Spire in a location that the Terran player would normally just not scan. Let's have a look at that right now. There's no information whatsoever for the STC. He will throw down a scan at one point and just try to get an idea of what the Zerg is up to. The STC is happy to just stay there at the choke point and control the map. He wants to make sure that there's no additional base coming up for the Zerg player. And oh, he needs to pay attention, needs to micro all those units. We already lost 2 of the Hellions, but still, kill a lot of Zerglings in the process. Double upgrades, +1/+1 being researched for the Terran player right now. And with the 3rd base in the mix, the STC has a brilliant economy. 7 Mutalisks are being built right now. We have 49 drones against 50 harvesters, and there are a lot of barracks, as you can see. 4 barracks so far, getting 2 additional ones, which will be 6 barracks. 6 barracks. We already have 5 barracks. 2 additional ones makes 7 in total. And where are those Mutalisks? +1 being researched. So what's he gonna do? Is he trying to... Yes, he is trying to sneak away. Let's have a look. Is there some scout going on? No. He has no idea whatsoever.
Complete.
And as you can tell, those Mutalisks are really early. Usually they pop out a little bit later. Ah, beautiful scout with that one Hellion, and immediately the Terran player is throwing down missile turrets everywhere. Building missile turrets in order to defend with that push, but needs to be careful. Marines are doing a good job at repelling the Mutalisk, forcing one stimmer, trying to sneak into the main base, maybe kill an add-on or 2, but there's just too much stuff going on. So that Mutalisk harass has basically been rendered useless by the Terran player and his awareness of what was going to happen. I really like that about the STC. So now he is really ahead. He has that 3rd base already, while Kyrus is about to finish his 3rd hatchery. But still, that's a situation that he's not really comfortable with. And, well, let's put it like this. If he is comfortable with that situation, he definitely shouldn't. Because the Terran player has the better economy right now. He's ahead in bases. And they will be on even bases in just a matter of seconds. But still, the Terran player is just in a demanding position right now. In a commanding one. He has the +2/+2 upgrade being researched. He has the combat shield being researched. And on the other side of the map, we have Kyrus getting the speed for his Banelings. But what exactly is he trying to accomplish with that? He's down in SCVs. He's on the same base count. So if he doesn't deal any damage at all, that is a brilliant position for the Terran player to be in. And now we have the STC moving out just a tiny little bit, getting concussive shells as well in the process, researching, upgrade after upgrade, getting a 4th base. And ladies and gentlemen, I have to admit that Kyrus definitely had his work cut out for him right now, because as you can already tell, the Terran player is way ahead. There are not too many huge engagements that happened so far, but from a strategic point of view, the STC is in the better spot. 15 Mutalisks on the map. Let's have a look at the army supply. 63 against 65, 74 army worker supply for the STC against the 67. And yep, there's that 4th base. There's that 4th base coming up. And yeah, let's have a look at the income tab. Oh, sorry for that. That's the one I was talking about. Well, it says it all. 2,500 minerals and 500 gas per minute against 2,700. So, yeah, this might get strange. There are a lot of Marines. How many are there in total? 48. Oh, nice pickup. Well done. Killed 2 of the killed 2 of the medivacs. He needs to chip off units the whole time. He needs to make sure that he can kill a unit or 2 every time. Maybe get a siege tank, maybe get a medivac, just something like that. Just something to make ends meet. And here we go. Will he be able to take out the command center? He might actually be able to do that. The Terran player is moving across the map, trying to be aggressive. At the same time, we have the Zerg player getting a 4th base. That command center is history. Here we go. The Queen is still trying to spread the creep. Here's that 4th base attempt that I was talking about. How many banelings are there? Yes, 17. There are no siege tanks. Keep that in mind. And here are the banelings and the Zerglings streaming in, killing Marine after Marine. But not enough of them. Not enough of them. 170 supply against 178. Oh, this is looking kind of interesting now. With his Terran player losing a lot of his Marines and his 4th base as well. Curious is roughly on the same supply as his opponent. 21 banelings morphing. He's on 25 in total right now. Will he be able to save that base? Not quite sure about that. Here we go. No tanks in the mix. No target firing. And trying to kill the Marines. Moving in with everything he has. Oh, no. OGS, the STC is losing so many units. Not all of them. There's still a bunch of Marines that make it hard for the Mutalisk to engage. But he has lost a ton of Marines. Lost 5,700 resources compared to the 4,500 that Curious had to sacrifice so far. Now the Zerg player is on 4 bases. Needs to pay attention a little bit to his creep spread. Connect those 4 bases in order to be able to defend them in time if there's a drop going on or another push by the Terran player. Once again, you have OGS, the STC scanning, and the Mutalisk trying to harass. Focusing down 2 of the missile turrets, 3 of them getting into position to kill some of those SCVs. He really did a good job at that so far. 10 of them now trying to focus the orbital command, but keep in mind that still Mutalisks are dying to the turrets, and yeah, I'm not too sure if that trade-off was really worth it. But if he's able to take out that orbital command, that would be huge, and he might actually be able to do that. He might be able to. He's taking out that 4th base and forcing now the STC to play on 3 bases once again. Oh my god, the Terran player looked so good at some point in this matchup, but then Curious just turned up the heat. He's doing exactly that right now, realizing that the forces of his opponent are not able to deal with his Mutaflok, taking out all the Marines. And I must hand it to Curious. He's playing a really amazing game right now. He tried to go for that early Mutalisk attack, but it was rendered useless by this Terran player, and then STC was way ahead, tried to take his 4th base way earlier than Curious was able to take his. But Curious with the Mutalisk, just a relentless pain in the ass to the Terran player, was killing the 4th base, now killed the 3rd as well. Oh my god, this is really looking good for him right now. He's ahead in supply, he's maxed out already, getting upgrades for his ground units, +2/+2. Is not taking to a hive yet. I don't think he has the infestation pit so far. Let's have another look at the Mutalisk upgrade. He should have the +1 attack upgrade already. Oh, he has 1 armor upgrade too, I like it. And 51 Banelings. 51 Banelings attacking once more. And here is another bunch of Marines and Marauders. Yeah, the Marauders are quite nice dealing with Mutalisk. Has to cancel that base. Lovely. Taking down those add-ons. And I have to admit it, guys, the SCC is looking really, really bad right now. Basically, Curious is dictating this game. Don't get me wrong, the SCC is still in it. I mean, he has 200 supply himself. He's maxed out as well. But we have so much excess minerals for the Zerg player. 2,800 against 1,000 and 1,100 gas against 1,100 minerals for the Terran player. And yeah, the SCC turning up the heat, trying to get aggressive. Will he be able to do that? I seriously doubt it. That's just too much going on. He needs to. Oh, all those Marauders on the front are just taking down the Banelings. Nice micro, nice spread, but losing all of them, losing nearly all of his Marines, and the Mutalisk will be able to take out the rest of them. He killed the base, but at what cost? He lost so many units, so many of them just died. Basically the whole army was evaporated. And here he is with 3,500 minerals, and oh, taking down the planetary fortress! Tick, tick, boom! 19 banelings are needed to take down a planetary, and OGS the STC is just losing one of them to 19 banelings. Q's like, yeah, what the hell, man, I can afford it, so what gives? I'm still able to force my army in the blink of an eye. I'm already back on 188, so what exactly do you want? I'm fine with that, just as long as I deny you mining for a while, that's okay. And yeah, that's exactly what he does. So STC is trying to keep up, he's trying to, he's just trying to stay in the game, he's just trying to make an effort in order to get something going, get momentum going for him. Going on for him, and to maybe just carry it into killing some bases of the Zerg player, but so far it doesn't look all that good. He has some ghosts, he's getting ghosts now, which is of course a nice thing, especially if you try to snipe Mutalisks, for example. That's really, really good, but oh my god, once again Kira's picking the perfect time to attack, to engage, killing Marines, killing Marauders, and now he might even just try to take out that single orbital command. Did you hear that? Sniping right there. But whoa, there's another attack going on. Curious just walking past his opponent's defense with a bunch of Zerglings, taking down the orbital as well as all those turrets at the same time, harassing with the Mutalisks. Once more, we have the tag completed. 2 tier 2 plus 2 attack upgrade coming for the Mutalisks as well. Once again expanding, and oh my god. Curious is just looking so good right now. This game that he's playing is just so much better than the performance he showed us in game number 1. And this is exactly why he was able to defeat MVP in the Arena of Legends. Not only MVP, but also Pole. That's exactly what we were talking about. Such a great play by Curious, by the StarTale player, getting +3/+3 attack upgrades for his Banelings and Zerglings, at the same time researching the +2 attack upgrade for his ground, for his air units, and oh, it's Baneling time, and not quite. Running down there with another bunch of Zerglings, trying to take out that bunker. At the same time, the Marines and Marauders are chasing down those Banelings, at least trying to. But that base is actually being saved by the Terran player. The Zerg is not able to really kill it. Oh, yeah. That was not all that good for Curious. He killed a bunch of Marauders, I'll give him that, but what you really want to do is connect with the Marines, and that's just something that didn't happen there. 190 supply for both players. We have the drop ability being researched for the Zerg, as well as Chitina's plating, so he's trying to get some Ultralisks into the mix as well. Lately, a lot of Zerg players, especially on maps like that, have been focusing more on Ultralisks than on Broodlords. A decision that you can support on a map where there's a lot of space that you can cover, where you can flank your opponent. But in general, Broodlords are usually what you want to get into the mix if you're facing a Terran player. But on maps like that, if you have the Infestors are getting sniped! All 4 of them. Oh, Curious, you need to be careful. You are in a good position, but don't overdo it. Don't get cocky. You really shouldn't get cocky in this game. And as you can see, the STC is just building so many command centers right now. I'll get back to that in a second. Right now we have another push coming up by OGS, the STC on 192 supply. We have Curious building now 4 of his Ultralisks, but that is a pretty harsh situation for the Zerg player to be in. He needs to defend his base first. He got a little bit sloppy there. He had a really good lead in this game, but now he's getting kind of sloppy, and STC is about to start a comeback that might put a lot of pressure onto his opponent. Those Banelings trying to roll in. Just rolling, but will it do him any good back there with another expansion attempt? The Banelings connect with the Marines. Yes, here we go. That's more like it. That's more like what we are used to see by Curious. 200 supply, back on 200 against 160. And yeah, one thing that the TheStC is doing around, which I like kind of a lot, he's just expanding all over the place, and that will not only allow him to get access to new mineral lines, but at the same time, if he just upgrades all those command centers into orbital commands, he will be able to cut his workers. Right now it's on 62 SCVs against 71 drones, but if he really focuses on those orbital commands, he can cut SCVs and just use those mules in order to get minerals, which is kind of a nice thing to do, especially because if you do that, one of the major advantages will be that if you max out your army, you will have a lot more army supply than your opponent. And here we go once again. That's more the style of Curious that we've seen before. He was able to take out another command center, was able to take out another base, and that's exactly what he wants to do. He wants to ensure that the Terran player is not getting access to too many bases, and at the same time, of course, expanding himself. And there's that small force of Marines in the, not really in the middle of the map, but he could put a little bit more pressure onto those bases at the top left. Actually he couldn't. There are already too many spine crawlers, and of course that infestor plays a role as well. At the right side of the map now, the OGS, the TheStC, trying once more to expand, and the turret is taken out, killing the SCVs as well. Job well done, and now attacking towards the Greater Spire. He still has a lot of minerals bunked up, and gas too, but let's have a look at the unit count. Oh, careful buddy. 17 Marauders, 72 Marines, and 13 Marauders, all with 3 upgrades. And here we go. That is the force that you should be scared about right now. There are the EMPs to the infestors. Very well done. No fungal for you, buddy. There's just no way, and without the fungal, the Ultralists are in a lot of trouble, as they can be kited by the Marines and Marauders. And of course, the Zerg player realizes exactly that danger to his army composition and retreats immediately. He's still maxed out against 154 supply, but OGS, the TheStC, is getting a lot better in setting up his bases. He's just defending wherever he can and doing a good job at that. 7 Banelings, and there are additional 5 infestors being built. Creep spread, yeah, that's not something that Curious is focusing on right now, but who can blame him? There's a lot going on. Is, for example, that small attack in the back at the same time. Oh, worst position ever for the Ultralists to engage. There's just not enough space, and the TheStC is taking out them quite easily. 30,000 resources lost for both players, roughly. And there are 8 Corruptors being built. The TheStC trying to get a little bit aggressive. And what I like about his play at the moment is he doesn't try to get too fancy. He's just relying on things that he's comfortable doing with. He's relying on his defense. He's relying on that expansion play that we've talked about. He's relying on small drops like this one. And at the same time just making sure that he's able to keep up with the Zerg player. He doesn't have an easy time at doing so, but he's doing his best. He's on 172 supply against 190. As you can see, a lot of ghosts right now. 2 more being built after the last ones got annihilated. There are already 8 Corruptors in the mix, and yeah, we need those Brood Lords. 5 of them are being built. Nice army composition by the Zerg player. And one thing that the TheStC is struggling with is he has to stim a lot. He has to stim a lot, and therefore most of his army is not really in good shape. They are just there's not enough medivacs for him, and therefore he can't heal those lost hit points. And at the same time, those Mules are doing an awesome job at just attacking the SCV line. They're really doing a brilliant job at that. So let's have another look. 69 in the whole course of the game. He was able to kill 69 SCVs. That's a lot. That's really a lot. And he might even hit the 100 in that game. 190 supply against 180. Still a lot of excess minerals for Curious, but he's having a small problem in terms of his gas. Researching the +3 armor upgrade now. And that's something that I'm really curious about is, will OGS the TheStC be able to respond to that Broodlord threat? Because there are a lot of them already. He scanned them and he's getting more and more infestors, but will it be enough? I'm not too sure. Here's the attack starting already with the Broodlords. And what will the TheStC do? Will he fall victim to the force over there? Will he be fungled and lose to the army of the Zerg player? Curious is playing it kind of safe right now. He's trying to retreat a little bit. He has those 2 bases at the top, by the way. Here we go at the same time. Brood Lord party at the bottom. And nice EMP. Once more, STC is able to get off an EMP that hits all those infestors. That is really an awesome job by the Terran player. Will it be enough though? There are a lot of Brood Lords, and now there's one Fungal and all those Banelings. He's killing everything. He's killing everything. Look at that. 150 supply against 200. Immediately, Curious maxes out once more, and with an attempt to save this planetary fortress, and the STC is just throwing all the SCVs in repair mode. Those 2 Vikings trying to take out the Brood Lords. Curious is retreating. He knows that he's still in the better position. But wow, what a fight that we've just seen. Basically, Curious now doubling the supply of his opponent. What an amazing game. We are 36 minutes in the match, and now we even see personal cloaking for the ghosts. Jesus Christ, look at that. 40,000 resources lost for both of them. 124 supply against 200. And now Curious still with 2,700 minerals and 5,000 gas plus 3 attack for the air units is nearly done. But STC, the STC is not really one of the lazy fellas. He's expanding all over the place. He's expanding at the bottom right. He wants to make sure that he has a chance to win this game. After all, he took some severe hits, but as you could see already, we have both of them of roughly the same amount of resources lost. Here's that army of the Zerg player once more, that EMP, but it won't be enough. It is not enough to stop the Zerg player. He's just killing everything. Those Brood Lords, but oh, 2 Vikings taking out the Brood Lords one by one. But all those Ulclis, whoa, just look at that. The planetary dying. The planetary is dead. And it's going to be a lot harder now for the STC to come back into that game. He's trying to attack, to put pressure onto that base at the bottom, at the top left, with those units, and he might actually be able to take it out. I think he will. But yeah, at the same time, the STC had to abandon his base at the bottom right as well. Now Boro being researched, as well as the +2 armor upgrade for Curious, and oh, he was able to defend against that as well. We have another small encounter at the bottom, and guys, what do you want me to say? OGS, the STC, it looks like he's going to be eliminated out of KOA. It looks like Curious will get the better of him. Here we go, kiting those Brood Lords. Very, very nice, very well done by OGS, the STC, but this is just too much. The Zerg player has been chipping away at the defense of his opponent, and he has done a good job at that. He was so stubborn. He was just attacking over and over again, at the same time paying attention to his macro game and expanding all over the place, paying attention to his upgrades as well. And now you can see just that relentless number of units being built and streaming towards the bases of the Terran player. Triple expansion yet now up by the Terran. But here we go, the main base under attack now as well. That is Startail Curious for you guys, breaking through the wall of his opponent, trying to get into the main base, attacking whatever there is, killing supply depots left and right. At the same time, there are Zerglings harassing the expansions of OGS, the STC, and also those Vikings don't do a lot of damage. Wow. The attack has been thrown back, but still, with 181 supply against 85, we have OGS, the STC, just on the losing streak, and he doesn't mind any gas at all. He doesn't have the gas that he needs right now, and there are some fungals. Remember, a lot of his army is actually being captured in those medivacs. That's the GG! OGS, the STC, falls victim to Startail Curious in the first round of KOA. Wow! Guys! Yeehaw! Amazing games. I really like that. That match was all we could hope for. That best of 3 was amazing. Guys, we have another match coming up. We have Top against his Protoss opponent coming up very soon. He will play against Parting, and now we will have just a quick break. I'll see you back in about 2 or 3 minutes, so stay tuned for the final match of today.
Keeps me alive.